back to Tiki Taka Talk, and today we have a video that will be very, very big. I will be recapping the semifinals of both the Europa League and the Conference League and giving my predictions for their respective finals. It's at the business end of the season, which means there's a lot to unpack, a lot of videos to make. And this is one of them. The Europa League and Conference League have been going all season, and they've got great teams fighting for those trophies. 4 teams remain, so let's get into it. With the Europa League, starting off with Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. First leg, Nottingham Forest won 1-0. They had a good showing going into the second game, and they were on a good run of form. And then in the second leg, they got destroyed 4-0. Aston Villa wins 4-1 on an aggregate, and they destroyed Nottingham Forest in that second leg. They had great players. McGinn had a great game. Wenda had a great game. Torres had a great game, and the team really performed. Now we move on to the other semifinal. Freiburg versus Braga. This is a decent matchup to decide who would face the Prem team in the final. And I just want to take a note. Every single final has a Premier League team in them. I mean, it's just showing the levels of the Prem. Arsenal in the Champions League, Aston Villa in the Europa League, and Crystal Palace in the Conference League. First leg, Braga won 2-1 against Freiburg. They got the win at home turf, but in the second leg, Freiburg showed them who's boss with a 3-1 victory. In the second leg, Atabulo had a great game in the goal for Freiburg. Pau Victor also had a great game for Braga, so good for him. And Freiburg wins 4-3 on aggregate. Now, we go to the Europa League final. Freiburg versus Aston Villa. Freiburg is doing decent in the Bundesliga. They're a team that's always been sneakily good, but not on the level of the Stars. Aston Villa, top 3 for most of the season, has kind of fallen off a little bit in the Prem over the past few weeks, but they still have a great team. Many people are choosing Aston Villa to win this, but not me. I think Freiburg will win 2-1. They get the victory, and I think that they're going to loathe this finals win throughout their entire existence. Europa League for Freiburg, which means they go into the Champions League. Conference League. This is a competition that's been for a few years. It's got teams that probably will never make it to the Champions League, but these semifinals are full of decent teams. Starting off with Rayo Vallecano and Strasbourg. Both legs, Rayo Vallecano won 1-0. Penders had a great game in the first leg. So did Batalia. But great from that. Strasbourg, even when they are the second Chelsea team, they're not able to beat Rayo 2 and Rayo Vallecano as they go to the final. The other semifinal is Crystal Palace versus Shakhtar Donetsk. First leg, Palace won 3-1. And then the second leg, they won 2-1. Kamada had a good game for Crystal Palace as they went 5-2 up on aggregate. As the final is Crystal Palace versus Rayo Vallecano. This is a fun matchup. La Liga versus Premier League. And these two teams have done very good for themselves, but I feel like even though Rayo Vallecano's had such a great team, a great season, maybe not in the La Liga, but they've had a great season. I have Crystal Palace winning 3-1 on aggregate And I think they're the only Prem side that wins Europa competitions. So, with that being said, that's it for the episode. That's the recap and predictions of the Europa and Conference League. See you next time.